Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Prime Real Estate, Ric Davis.
And I'm your host, the Texas Real Estate King, LarryWBrooks.
Every week, the King and I will provide you exclusive access to our network of lenders, investors, and real estate professionals from both the commercial and residential real estate sectors.
Now, are you millionaire minded? Or maybe you're a millionaire in the making? Make sure that you subscribe so you can get connected to the network. And always remember, the Prime Real Estate Network, where millionaires are in the making.
Create wealth for generations.
What's up, Prime Real Estate Network listeners? It's your man, Larry W. Brooks, a.k.a. the Texas Real Estate King. Hey, when you get a moment, go ahead and go over to shoplwb.com. You can see the Pure Hustle merchandise that we had over there, some of our newer items that we have in stock, and of course, I got all the books that I've authored. I'd love for your support. You have a great day.
Good day. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, you can reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this week, just like it is every week here on the Prime Real Estate Network. And I want to invite everyone in the audience to get involved in today's show. If you're checking us out live on YouTube or Facebook, submit a relevant real estate question in the comment section, and you never know, myself or the Texas Real Estate King may very well answer your question on today's episode. I want to let everyone know here in the city of Houston, it's great to be back with you. We weren't here last week. We had a storm come through the city of Houston, put a lot of the greater Houston and Harris County area in a blackout. There's still some areas that don't currently have power. We empathize and sympathize with those, but we are proud to be back with the Prime Real Estate Network here for everyone in our audience. I want to take some time to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, he's a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, and the proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand. Want to thank him for signing in with us this week, just like he does every week here on the Prime Real Estate Network. And I'd like to introduce to our audience the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. How are you?
What up, Rick? I am good, man. No complaints at all. As you said, majority of the city is back in power, but we still, again, have a few residents that have not. But yeah, man, just here. We back at this thing again this week, man.
No, it's good to see you, man, live from the Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm office and Education and Training Center over on South Loop, man. Want to make sure that not only do we give a huge shout out to all the members over at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, but also those real estate affiliate students that check us out on a weekly basis. We know we weren't here for you last week, but like you mentioned, Larry, there were so many complications and challenges that had to be dealt with last week in and around the city. Just from a personal standpoint, as far as some of your past clients, neighbors, friends, are there any stories that you could share with the audience about some of the things and some of the challenges that you and your close circle had to fight through last week?
Yeah, man. I honestly, what I would just say is like you said earlier, man, it's just with the way that the weather came in. I mean, I haven't seen it look like this since we had Ike, and that was more of a wind and rain situation. So this one was another heavy wind and rain situation. So I did have a little bit of damage, mainly gate damage. But for the most part, most of the other conversations that I've had have been kind of around that. So wasn't very much of a water damage when it came to most people, unless it came down from the roof area, because because this storm this storm tested if your roof was ready or not ready. Because if it had any loose shingles, they all took a ride with the way this storm came in.
No, I appreciate you for sharing. And I also want to make sure we reiterate, I want to make sure we give a big, huge shout out to everybody that works for Centerpoint. Yeah. All those professionals that work on the line crew, those that have done those overtime and had to work triple time, weekends, holidays, because not only have we had this storm, Larry, I'm sure you know, it's right on the heels of the tornado that hit the city about a month ago. Yeah. So it's put a lot of our electric infrastructure at stress. Yeah. So I want to make sure all those people that have come in from California, come in from Louisiana, because they've had professionals come in from all over the country to help to get Houston back going from that power standpoint. So big, huge shout out to all those people.
And I
And
think most of us here in the Houston, the native Houstonians are kind of understand the process and what that looks like. I think that for those that may be new, again, understand this: when these companies, when Centerpoint brings in outside agencies in order to help them because of something this big, something this tragical, you need more people, more bodies. And when these people come in, you got to understand they have to be trained a little bit more on our system, because if not, they're putting their lives at danger if they're not out on the same ideal, understanding when this power line is on hot, like all those things need to be changed, because the lingo in California may be different than the lingo in Texas, in Arizona, and all the places that people may have came in from. So definitely want to say be patient and be understanding that that it may not look like they're moving at the speed of light, but I guarantee you they're doing everything that they can within their powers to be moving at the speed of light. So, yeah.
And I definitely reiterate that message, man. And like I want to tell everyone, man, let's all pull together. Let's all be family, man. Each one, let's try to reach out, assist each other, man, because these type of natural disasters is something that can be avoided, but we can all pull together as a human family, make sure we are taken care of. So big, huge shout out to everybody out here who's involved from that standpoint. Yeah. But it's good to be back online with you, brother, man. It's been a couple of weeks, man. As far as the real estate business, one of the things that I'm really proud of being part of the Brooks and Davis real estate family is that we never stop. We never pause. We never hesitate as far as the mentorship, the education. Yeah. So from a strictly professional standpoint, what's been going on in the last couple of weeks with the Texas Real Estate King? Is there anything new on the real estate horizon that you would feel like you can share with the audience?
Well, yeah, man, I think one of the things is, Rick, and I tell people this all the time, there's still no slowdown when it comes to, people that's getting into this industry, acquiring their licenses, regardless of what we may hear through social media and different the click outlets. I just came from Champion School of Real Estate this morning, man, and just a room packed with over 50, 60 students inside of there. So people are still getting licenses to be able to come out and be a professional and be able to help people that are looking to buy, sell, and invest in property. So if that is something that you're looking to do, or become a licensee, become a professional in a sales aspect of real estate, then definitely now is a good time for that. But not only that, just the real estate industry itself is still a pick up and go, or still a resource that's needed. So I think that is owned, and everyone is still batting it out the park.
No, man, appreciate that as well, because one of the great things about the brokerage over at Brooks and Davis is built on the foundation of education. So if you are a recent real estate licensee, if you're a current affiliate of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm and you want to get a little bit more hands-on, reach out to us directly and we can get you involved in the mentorship program where someone can walk with you and get you on the fast track to real estate success. One of the things, Larry, that we like to do every week is before we introduce our guest on the show, we like to give you an opportunity to share with our audience a little bit about the background that you have with our guests, how you were introduced, how long you've known each other. So what could you share with our audience about this week's guest and how you guys were first connected?
Yeah, and here's the thing, Rick, our audience have probably heard me mention several different times, the movers and the shakers going to always find a way to connect, or at least have a relationship understanding of who each other are. And so one of the things is that even before I had the opportunity to meet today's guest, I knew who today's guest was because I came in contact with her in the way that she was building out her businesses when it came to just being on social media platforms and things of that matter in this industry. And the one thing about it is those people that are like-minded, strategic, and love teaching and coaching other people how to be great in something, they always come in contact with each other. So not only have I bumped into and had an opportunity of fellowshipping with today's guest here in the city of Houston, but in other states as well. We've fellowshipped in Atlanta and things like that. So, man, when I say we have a heavy hitter, she is a heavy hitter on here today. So I don't know how deeply your research went, my man, but just know we have a huge diamond in the rough that has done so many things throughout her career and her businesses. Is that, I mean, in the time that we have with her, we'll never be able to cover it. So I definitely just want to tell everybody in our audience, once she gives you where she's going to be and how she's going to be there and her social media handles, you may definitely want to save those and tap in. And as you listen to her journey, if there's anything that she can do to help you out, you definitely want to be able to click and follow her today and lock in with the things that she has going on today. So, yeah, man.
Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce this week's guest. As Larry mentioned, she's not only one of the most successful real estate investors here in Greater Houston, but she's also a realtor, entrepreneur, educator, and mentor. I want to thank her so much for sitting in on the Prime Real Estate Network, and I'd like to introduce to our audience Ms. Raevonne Denise.
Hi guys. Thanks for having me.
How you doing, Ray? Appreciate it.
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
You know, one of the great things about having you sit in with us is that Larry has spoken about you offline so many times that it's great to have you here for an interview formally and be able to introduce you to our audience. So first things first, Ray, could you just introduce yourself, your organization, and let our audience know about what it is that you guys do in the real estate sphere?
So my name is Raevonne Denise. Obviously, I'm here in Houston with you guys by way of Minnesota. And I've had my hands in a lot of stuff. My most successful days was owning McDonald's as a family. We owned collectively a lot of them in the state of Minnesota, which kind of drove me to Texas a little bit between that and my son's health issues to come to Texas Children's. But once I got here, I jumped on that real estate bandwagon and became a real estate agent. I opened up my own brokerage, which is CR Elite Realty, in which we just merged with EXP. But my most success is my construction company. So I own a really huge construction company in California and in the state of Texas. We just finished on a 1,600 single family subdivision in California, 32-story luxury apartment building. Right now in Texas, we are working on over 26 new constructions, as well as the fire station, police department, and we're bidding on the Houston International Airport right now as we speak. I basically own, I don't like talking about a lot of stuff, but we basically collectively own the beginning to the end of the process. We just launched ATI Lending Company, so we are the lender nowadays. We own the construction company as well as the title company, Texas Lone Star Title, for any of you guys that want to use that. But I'm just a behind the scenes entrepreneur. I like to be about it and not talk about it.
You are definitely about it, Ray. I've just been on your social media page, and you're actually starting to work your way from just behind the scenes to being able to have people have a better understanding of some of the workings that you and your team are growing at. So I think it's amazing. I've been checking it out. I love it.
One of the great things, Ray, about having you on, and like Larry said, I was able to do some due diligence as far as what you guys do professionally, but then also some of your mentorship programs and ways that you allow those that quote unquote are on the outside of the real estate industry to partner with you and get on the inside. But for those who don't know you off the clock, could you just talk a little bit about how you allow those who are of like mind to invest in real estate without necessarily having a real estate license or having a construction company or already having a lender? How can someone partner with you who wants to become a part of your movement, but at the same time create generational wealth for their family?
So there's two things you can do. One thing, reach out to me. I always tell people you have to have some skin in the game. So I'm not giving my telephone number out to anyone I'm not close to. So you can start off by just sending me an Instagram message on Raevonne Denise on Instagram, and my assistant will reach out to you and get you on our schedule. I do offer mentorship, but I only offer mentorship in the building, like ground up phase. So if you want to learn how to be investor and do building from the ground up, anything else in investment, I'm definitely going to lead the way, but I have other people that are attached to me that would teach you. I just don't have the time to teach everything, obviously, and I don't want to pull myself too thin. But if you just start off by reaching out to me, now the best way that we just set up is like the beginning to the end. So say you want to start investing today, we're going to walk you through the whole process. In the beginning, I would prefer, obviously we're not steering. We're going to give you a couple of other ones. But if you're coming to mentor with me and you don't have any money, you don't have the funds, you don't have the knowledge, obviously we're going to partner up in the beginning where we do like a 50-50, and we'll go through the phase where I already have the finances. I'm basically doing it all for you, right? I'm just teaching you along the way and getting your foot in there. We do charge for that up front if you're not experienced, if you're not somebody like Larry that's just like, hey, give me your process, I'm gonna give it to them for free. But anyone that's inexperienced, we do charge a small fee just to get that mentorship and get through, right? But if I'm an open book, so if anyone has any questions, you can always catch me out wherever I'm at, or shoot me a question on Instagram and I'm going to answer it. I believe that I got where I am with the guidance of people and mentorship, so I'm never going to not answer a question.
Absolutely. Ray, one of the things that Larry and I are passionate about with this platform is educating our community about the importance of taking care of their familial birthrights. Mm-hmm. Those properties that have been handed down that are, we've had members of our family, grandparents, parents who are now at an age where you see a lot of properties changing hands. Those properties aren't always in the best of shape. They're sometimes a little older. And by the time the grandkids or the kids have acquired these properties, they don't necessarily have the know-how or the knowledge on how to best put that property in a position to either get it on the market for sale, or it may be distressed. What type of advice do you have for those people who call you when grandma's home or their mother's old home or something like that is in risk of being taken by the state, or it's been, they're having a serious roof issue and it's no longer inhabitable? Is that something that you work with, or do you refer those type of people out to other professionals?
No, so I have a team of, over 60 people. So I don't refer it out. It may be another team member that can answer the question better, or they can work with them. But the first thing that I tell them, I'm gonna be honest with people, when they call me and they're trying to sell, or they can't figure out how to keep it, or someone passed away, I let them know, like, the world has kind of taught us that no one owes us anything, right? Mm-hmm. And I believe the opposite. They owe us everything. Our ancestors fought hard to get us to where we are today. And if we don't start looking at it that way, because I want my 10 acres, 100 acres, 50 million acres, and a mule, whatever it is that's owed to me, I want it.
Give me mine. Yeah.
Give me mine. So the fact that people are giving it away, it's mind-boggling to me. So the first thing I do is when I sit down with people, I let them know, hey, I'm going to sit down and teach you how to keep this property. If it's something that you truly do not want to do, then I could buy it, or I can get someone else to buy it and make sure that you get what to do to you. But I want you to be well aware, 10 years from now, when you say I should have kept it, you'll be able to say, Raevonne taught me how to keep it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to keep it. So that's the initial help that I get. And then, I have all the resources and everything they need in case they need some type of grants or, refis or anything like that. The biggest thing I want everybody to know is that we have to start setting up trust, and we have to start setting up LLCs. And like our grandparents bought the land and the houses for us, we have to start creating businesses for our children going forward. Mm-hmm. So the first thing I always tell them, hey, let's get with, I have a good friend, Corey. She's my business partner as well. She's a real estate and business attorney. I'm like, hey, let's get with her and get you a trust set up. Let's get you an LLC set up, not just a basic one that you paid online, but let's get you a holding company. Let's get you a series LLC. This is stuff that people do not teach people. Yeah. So now 10 years from now, the average American that had all these wanted to be entrepreneur and had these businesses, they now owe taxes. People can find them, right? Because they set up their LLCs incorrectly, right? The only business I own is a business I allow you to know that I own, right? And the only taxes I'm paying is the taxes that I feel like paying.
That's what's up, right? No doubt about it. Yep.
Where that everybody learns that, because no one taught me this. I had to learn it the hard way, and I also had to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get the type of get to the place that I am now. And I want to give it away to people for free, but I don't want people to waste my time either, if that makes sense.
No, it definitely makes sense. And do not allow them to waste your time. Everything I always say needs to have somewhat of a premium on it, because of what you had to go through in order to obtain information and the resources and the connections, even down to the attorney. Shout out to Core, man, been a really good friend for a really long time. She is amazing. She understands the real estate space and that trust space. And so, definitely you need those. Your resources are needed for people.
Yes. Yeah. So for the record, her name is Eleanor Curry. We just call her Corey, guys. So Eleanor Corey, in case you want to look her up.
Yeah, I know.
Eleanor Corey, thank you so much for sharing that information, because Curry, excuse me. I appreciate that because Larry and I, we get so many questions, DMs, text messages about real estate attorneys. And you'll be surprised how under spotlighted that particular aspect of law is from that standpoint. So many people have questions about inheritances and don't really know who to go to. So I'm sure Ms. Curry is very appreciative of you giving her that shout out that way. So thank you so much. When we talk about what it is that you do, one of the great things about following you on social media, and I invite everyone to follow you on Instagram at Raevonne Denise, perfect, is that you spotlight not only yourself, but the members of your team in your social media video content. Yeah. So for those in the audience who may not be at the space where their businesses are developed as yours, but could you just talk a little bit about your core power team, those 3 to 4 to 5 individuals that you talk to on a daily basis, their roles and why they're so important to making sure you flourish as a professional and your organization grows?
So the most important reason why they're important is because I have no idea what I'm doing, where I'm going, and how I'm going to do it. So if they don't know, then we just lost out here in these streets. I'll let you know. But you know, the most important is going to be our office manager. So our business manager is a person that brings all of my businesses together for me. So I don't have to go to 10 different people to get an update on all the businesses that I have. So she takes that, you know, that morning meeting or that, you know, everything that everybody needs, and she puts it in one and makes it black and white for me. So she's the most important person. In every business, we have, you know, our admins, you know, we have our transaction coordinators, we have our, you know, project managers and different stuff like that. I think really the most important when it comes to real estate, you guys, you know, my biggest advice I would give people is don't jump into stuff too quickly, but make sure that you're prepared, right? So as a real estate agent, you should start with an admin, a person that's going to take all, you know, all the little stuff off of you. Then your transaction coordinator, because the paperwork is what takes the longest to take the paperwork off of you. A lot of real estate agents, they jump in and they want a buyer's agent. They want a seller's agent. They want this. Like, what about the paperwork? What about the marketing? What about the things that's going to get you the leads that you need in order to pay for this stuff? So 100% transaction coordinator, admin, and my office manager and business manager are the 4 people that makes my day easy.
No, that's outstanding. Thank you so much for sharing. You know, one of the great things about having business leaders like yourself on is that we get opportunity to ask a little bit about your background. So you mentioned a little bit about your entrepreneurial background from being in Minnesota, but could you just share with our audience about the members of your family who may have been business owners and entrepreneurs, who may have served as a catalyst or an inspiration for you to travel down this path?
So my Uncle Tony is the person that got me into the McDonald's franchise world, right? He was very strict with me. When I thought that I was getting a job at 14, I thought that it was going to be like easy peasy. And he's like, no, you know, I basically sold my childhood for McDonald's. Like it was gone. It was it. Right. So he definitely helped me out. My father is a very big person because he helped with the financial side of getting me into that entrepreneur world. Right. My grandma gets 100% of the credit because she's the one that made me get up every morning early, because women do not sleep past 7 o'clock in the morning is what she said. And this, even though the men are the face of the world, the women are the behind them, and men wouldn't be what they are without women. That's what all she would always say, right? Yep. She would always teach us to stay in our lane, but make sure we did our part. So those are 3 people. And my cousin Sune, she held my hand through, you know, me making hard decisions. A lot of my family wanted the title that we have a lot of doctors and nurses and lawyers and different stuff. And I decided to go the entrepreneur world, and a lot of them didn't understand that, right? And so she kind of held my hand and made it better and let me know that it was okay. And a lot of us need that. We need the people to tell us that, hey, it's okay for you to fall on your face as long as you get back up. It's okay for you to fall again as long as you get back up. And as long as you learn throughout your journey, right? If you're just falling and not learning nothing, then that's insanity, right? But if you're falling and getting back up and learning and taking 10 more steps before you fall again, it's okay. I still fail where I am now, but you know, they 100% made me the person that I am today. And then my kids came in and basically gave me the reason why I needed to ramp it up and be the person that I am, you know, the future person.
No, thank you so much. I appreciate you for sharing, because there's going to be members of our audience that as they hear your interview, sit in their seats, they're going to see a little of themselves in your journey.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be what they use as an example of what they should be evolving into from a professional standpoint. So I appreciate your candor and transparency. For members of our audience that would love to meet, greet, interact with you on a personal basis, are there any networking events where you'll be speaking, where you'll be headlining, where they can come out, meet, greet, and talk about how they saw your interview on the Prime Real Estate Network?
So right now, the only thing that I have on the books, a lot of the stuff is like by invite only, unfortunately. But I will, a few things. I'll be at the Black Builder Entrepreneur in New Orleans. I will be in Atlanta with Larry. Larry, where are we going to again? What's it called?
We're going to head down to that Invest Fest for a little while.
We're going to go to the Invest Fest, and then we have a builder event going on in California. But what I advise them to do is just to follow my Instagram at Raevonne Denise. I do have a lot more coming up, something coming up with Chase and some different things that everybody will be able to come out and meet and greet. We also hold a couple happy hours throughout the year just to get to know me and ask any questions. And also, you know, if you have any questions about real estate, you know, my business partner and best friend, Janelle, leads that. But just, I wanted to hit bases on one thing that you said. If you follow my Instagram, you will see more of who I am and how I got here, not necessarily what I'm doing, if that makes sense. I do throw in some builder stuff every once in a while, but I want people to relate to me, to know that I came from nothing, right? I'm one bad mistake of having nothing again. I'm one big good mistake of being a billionaire, right? And every part of me can relate to anybody, regardless if you had hard times, good times, didn't have parents, you know, my grandma raised me. It's a lot. And I want people to understand that, because if I could do it, if I was supposed to be the statistics, if I got out of my situation and I became as successful as I am, anybody can do it.
No, man. Thank you so much. That is like music to our ears.
Clip that up, DJ. We're going to clip that up,
like,
that right there, that's the intro right there.
Because I'm so sincere, because you have reached a level where you are comfortable in your own skin. You're not defining your success by comparing yourself to other people's successes. And as you're on that long road to success, it's hard to separate what it is that you have as goals from comparison. So thank you so much for giving the members of our audience a little clarity and another perspective that they may not have necessarily been taken into account. So before we sign off this week, Ray, and thank you so much for sitting in, could you share contact information, websites, emails with our audience so that they can contact, get on your docket, and have an opportunity to share ideas with someone like yourself?
So once again, the best way to get in contact with me is through Instagram at Raevonne Denise. I will throw some websites out there. They're on the Instagram as well, but we have JRE Construction is my construction company. ATI Lending is our lending company, and Texas Lone Star is our title company. And of course, you know, real estate is CR Elite Realty.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Ray. If you ever would like to sit in with us again, you always have a seat. Please keep Larry and myself up to date with everything you have going. And we look forward to speaking with you again in the near future, Queen. And thank you so much for carving some time out your busy Thursday schedule.
Thank
Ray,
you for
I
having me.
appreciate you so much for coming on. It's been a journey getting you here, but you know, I'm happy that I finally was able to get you on. And thank you so much for sharing gems, and definitely we'll keep you on the loop and whatever we got going on. If there's anything you got going on that we can put on the channel to, you know, help bring awareness to, or help organize to get more people there, like Rick said, definitely let us know. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Ray.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Ray.
All right. Bye-bye.
It's a great interview, Larry, man. I love the energy. She was so matter of fact about what it takes to be successful. No fluff, no filler, just straight facts, man. Real straight game, man. And I hope every member of our audience can add some of those tidbits, add it to what they're doing, and take their careers to that next level.
Definitely, man. And the thing is her and her team and her partner over there are doing amazing things. I've had an opportunity of going and visiting their office before, having an opportunity to have a few words with some of the agents as they were building them up and teaching them and coaching them. You know, it's one of those companies that I ideally, if you look at Brooks and Davis and we're not a fit for you, that's understandable, because everyone has a different relationship that they're looking for. They're going to have different people that they relate to. And so this has always been another company that I would mention in conversation that they should sit down with, have a conversation, see if there's a fit. And so just being able to have Ray on and just, talk about the way that she's building and growing, is amazing. And again, this is someone that you can definitely learn from, because one of the things that she said is she's been there and relatable in just about every area of life that we can think of as humans. So that stands out by itself.
Nah, man, it was great, man. Great job again, man. I love having Ray on. Look forward to interviewing again in the future, man. Is there anything you'd like to share in closing before we sign off this week, man? It's been a great episode.
Great episode by all means, man. Rick, all I would say is to everyone that's out there that's able to hear our voices, please like, share, leave a comment. If there's somebody that you think that you would like to see on as a guest, leave their names and ways that we can either reach out to you or reach out to them. Also, again, like and share, tag a friend in this here. So I definitely want to employ that people continue to share the podcast, continue to push it out to more people.
Thank you so much, Larry, man. On behalf of the Texas Real Estate King, Larry W. Brooks, and myself, Ric Davis, I want to thank Miss Raevonne Denise for sitting in with us. I want to thank Jay Joseph behind the ones and twos as a producer. And I want to thank everybody over at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm for helping us get this show out to you every Thursday. Until next week at this same time, if you need anything, we're just a text, call, DM away. Everyone in the Prime Real Estate Network audience, man, until we see you all again, please be safe and be blessed.
Be blessed.